It's been raining and snowing, and all of a sudden I'm back in summer again. The North Cascades of Washington State. They are probably America's most underrated mountains. This is where American alpinists with Himalayan aspirations cut their teeth. These mountains are big, steep, and often shockingly beautiful. Best of all, they are wild, protected by an extensive network of large wilderness areas. It is the land of big mountains, big trees, big rivers, and big wilderness. And if you're a believer, it's the home of Bigfoot, the epicenter of Sasquatch lore. The Pasayten Wilderness, established in 1968, is one of the least known of our nation's crown jewel wilderness units. At well over 500,000 acres by itself, the Pasayten is only part of a far larger million-plus acre wildland. Its entire northern edge is the Canadian border, where roadless land extends north to the Trans-Canada Highway. To its west, the wilderness extends uninterrupted into the wilds of North Cascades National Park, which itself is bracketed on its west by the Mount Baker and noisy Diabsid wilderness areas. This creates a protected wilderness network that spans the entire width of the North Cascades from near the waters of the Salish Sea clear into the drylands of the Washington Okanagan. The most dramatic mountains of this area are found in North Cascades National Park, where glaciated cirques and impossible rock spires make many of these peaks virtually unclimbable for most mortals. In the Pasayten Wilderness, dramatic peaks in its west gradually give way with each long river valley to more gentle summits and expansive forests in its east. It's in the hinterlands of the Pasayten that Washington State offers its wildest side. The Pasayten is a fully intact ecosystem where wolverines roam, transient Canadian grizzlies pass through like ghosts, gray wolves howl, and the lower 48's densest population of Canadian lynx prowl secretively through the larches and pines of these deep woods. My route into the Pasayten started at a high point at 7,000-foot Slate Pass and then dropped me into the wild for a 3-day, 30-mile loop along rugged ridgelines past alpine lakes and up a long forested fringed river valley drained by Canadian-bound waters. I was there on a late September weekend, roaming under the golden larches of fall, and I would not see a single other human being until the final quarter mile. Okay, about to get started. It's windy, it's high, it's kind of cold, it's remote, and it's almost October. Headed out 33 miles, Buckskin Pass, Middle Pasayten River Loop. I'm the only car here. Filming the very first part of the trail here as we get started. There's an old fire lookout on the top of that point up there. That's pretty cool. All right, almost a mile in. We've dropped down from the high point of the trailhead down into this more sheltered valley and getting ready to head up on this trail junction here up Buckskin Ridge. On Sunday, I'll be coming up this trail to complete the loop, which is the Middle Fork Pasayten River Trail. Beautiful so far. This part of the trail has become quite the sufferfest. It's just like an 800 foot vertical push. It's super steep and overgrown. Slowing me way down. So, not gonna get to Buckskin Lake today. Gotta get up the hill though, find a campsite. But if I take my eyes off the ground and turn around, woo, gorgeous. That makes it all worth it. So I was just looking at this beautiful view here, and I didn't see it at first, but way out in the distance is this incredible peak. I think that's Jack Mountain. It's in North Cascades National Park. That's impressive. So pretty. All right, thoughts on today. So it didn't go quite as planned, but everything is good. I had hoped to make it all the way to Buckskin Lake today, which would have been 12.5 miles. I didn't get on the trail till 12:30, and being almost October, the days are getting pretty short. And honestly, I spent way too much time picking blueberries. Totally worth it. So I ended up stopping about 10.5 miles in. The trail got progressively more difficult and rugged and steep. A lot of ups and downs. And I ended up finding a dry camp, which is a campsite with no natural water, which brings me to my other issue. So I packed in 2.5 liters of water. I don't drink a whole lot of water when I'm hiking unless it's hot. I just don't seem to need that much. So I only drank like maybe a half a liter in that 10.5 miles. But by the time it got to about 4 o'clock, I realized I wasn't going to make it all the way to Buckskin Lake. And I came to a very small side stream with a little bit of water in it. And it was kind of on a really uncomfortable steep slope. So I stood there for 5 minutes telling myself that the smart thing to do was to top off my water and put some extra water in my CNOC bag. But I talked myself out of it because on both my topo map and my Onyx app, it showed a more significant water source about a mile further up the trail. So I thought, okay, I'll just get water there. And it turned out to be a dry gully. So then I had a decision to make. Do I go backtrack a mile each way just to get water? Or do I try to conserve water at my dry camp tonight? Decided to conserve water, so what I did was I instead of cooking dinner, which requires water, I ate a lot of my snack food for dinner, which was fine. It has a lot of calories, and then I'll just eat one of the dinners for lunch. So that way I have a good 2 liters. I have enough water for tonight and for breakfast tomorrow, which is oatmeal. And then I only have 3 miles at most to water tomorrow, so it should be fine. This wilderness feels bigger and more remote than just about any other place I've been. I'm 10.5 miles in. It feels very remote and very wild, and so I really like it. It's also a little bit unnerving being solo, but I've got enough experience to feel fairly comfortable with that. And we get further in tomorrow. I think as a straight line tomorrow, we get within about 10 miles of the Canadian border, and then I double back to start the loop. Yeah, it's a wild, rugged, beautiful place, and the larches are definitely turning. They're not peak yet, but they're pretty. Morning. It's 7:15 in the morning. It's been raining and snowing, mostly raining, but a little bit of snow off and on all night, and still raining this morning. I just went and got my food bag and realized I forgot my stove. So no hot food for me today, unless maybe tonight, depending on my campsite, there's a possibility of a campfire. So that's okay. It's cold oatmeal for me this morning, and I might be a little food deprived tomorrow on the hike out, because I won't be able to cook my dinners. But since I'm hiking out tomorrow, I only have today and tomorrow, I got quite a bit of snack food. I should be all right. Can't believe I forgot my stove. I have matches, lighter, and fire starter in case I need to have a fire. I'm not going to do that this morning. Everything's soaked. I just want to get on the trail. All right, it's 8:15 in the morning. We just broke camp and we're ready to get on the trail. Mother Nature was kind enough to stop the rain for me to break camp, so that was nice. And clouds are showing some signs of possibly thinning out, maybe. So it might have some sunshine today, or it might start raining again, who knows. Either way, it's all good. We're gonna get on the trail here and looking for somewhere around 12 to 15 miles today. Got to go up and over 2 little passes, past Buckskin Lake, down a big hill, down to the Middle Fork Pasayten River Valley, so it should be a good day. We're at the high point of the entire hike at about 7,300 feet. The weather is crazy. These clouds moving everywhere. The scenery is fantastic. We just climbed 800 feet in 1 mile from the campsite, so fairly steep. But now we got one more little tiny climb, and then it's downhill to the river, and then a very gradual uphill the rest of the way back tomorrow. So most of the difficult climbing is over with. Just a lot of miles from here on out. Wild place. Okay, that's Buckskin Lake. I'm the only one here on a Saturday. That's awesome. It's a very pretty spot, very peaceful. Had lunch, replenished my water, and now we're about to go on a big downhill down to the Middle Fork Pasayten River. The nature of this hike is going to change significantly as we get lower off of these subalpine ridges and lakes and down into Wilderness River Valley, so it should be pretty neat. Well, what a difference a drop in elevation will do. We've come down about 1,300 feet, and all of a sudden I'm back in summer again. I'm down to my shorts and t-shirt. It's kind of muggy, and we got about 1,300 more feet to go down to get to the river. So we're on this long, sweeping slope down to the river now, back in just forest. It's really quite nice hiking right now. It's warm and very pleasant. So on our way down to the river. Also, it is Saturday. I still have yet to see a single other person on this trail. I don't know, maybe we'll get the whole thing done and not see anyone else. I'll be the only one on this entire loop. It wouldn't surprise me. All right, we made it down to the Middle Fork of the Pasayten River. And it's just a different world down here. Down to 4,500 feet from our peak at 7,300 earlier this morning. It's what I love about the Pacific Northwest. You go down a little bit or up and it just totally changes the environment. Down here, it's lush and green and warm and kind of humid. Totally different world down here than where we were this morning. I'm standing on this bridge, it's kind of high. See if I can get that. Woo! That's most definitely an aspen tree, which is interesting because I didn't know if they grew around here or not. I don't know, maybe those trees up on the hillside are aspens. It looks like Colorado here. This could easily be somewhere in Colorado. Very different on this side of the valley compared to that side, which is very dense. That is definitely an aspen tree. Well, got myself a nice little campsite here right next to Burke Creek, which you can hear in the background. No stove, no problem. I was able to boil some water, and my dinner is soaking at the moment. So today was a great day. It started out with a cold rain on the tent, but the rain stopped by the time I got up. Beautiful 900-foot climb up to the top of Buckskin Ridge. And then I dropped down to Buckskin Lake, which was also very beautiful and very peaceful spot by the lake there. And then the long descent down into the Middle Fork Pasayten River Valley. And the rest of the day was spent after hanging out by the river for a little while, making my way up the other half of the loop, which is this long trail up the Middle Fork Pasayten River. And I made my way part way up there, and I did 11 miles today, and I got 9 miles to go tomorrow. Hard to beat the North Cascades, and I have yet to see a single other human being on this trail. And today was a Saturday. Unbelievable. Morning. It's 10 till 9. I'm all ready to go. Nice peaceful night last night by the stream. Woke up to a clear morning this morning. There's a squirrel behind me that's harassing me. See if I can get him. There he is. I don't have anything for you. Anyways, I woke up last night to what sounded like somebody snoring outside my tent. Not like constantly, but like every once in a while. And for a minute I thought Sasquatch had rolled in. But then I finally realized it was a creaky door tree, one of those dead standing snags that is leaned up against another tree. A little bit of breeze comes in, it makes a sound. At night that sounded like somebody snoring. All right, 27 miles in and just 3 miles to go, but we got 1,600 feet to climb, so got uphill to get out of here. All right, that's 28 down and just 2 miles to go. Getting close. We're on our climb now. Just in the forest. This is a long forest walk today for the most part. Just 1 mile to go and I've re-emerged into the land of wild blueberries. We're 29 miles in, 1 mile left. The last mile is going to be one of the hardest because I still have to climb about 700 feet up to the top of Slate Pass. And then it's just a quick drop of 100 feet or so down the other side to the trailhead. But I'm not in any hurry because I'm back in the blueberries and huckleberries. And I've been sitting here stuffing my face. So I'm going to take my sweet time because I'm ahead of schedule and there's wild berries, plenty to eat. And I'm just going to soak in the rest of the day here before we head out. All of this red, this entire slope, those are all blueberries. There's millions of them. Last third of a mile and I finally saw 2 people. Right up there.
There was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy of Tea. The winds blew up her bow, dipped down, oh blow my bullet boys blow.
Soon may the wellerman come and bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tongue in his gun we'll take our leave and go.
She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow.
Soon may the wellerman come and bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tongue in his gun